This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 331.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash. 404 error. Page not found. Links aren't working. System is crashing. System is crashing. System is crashing.
Your old HTML website. Barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website. Better than it was before. Better. Stronger. Faster. We have the technology. The technology.
Why, hello everybody. This is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, I'm excited today. Upcoming events, none, I'm sorry to say. And I think I might have missed last week by saying that this weekend, I'm recording the weekend ahead of time. Anyway, I think I might have missed Denver. I don't know if I did or not. Anyway, maybe I just wasn't aware that I did it online, but I know I just saw a bunch of tweets coming out, so... hope they had a great camp by the time you hear this. WordCamp Denver is over. So, but nothing next weekend. I double checked, and no camps, and I didn't see any seminars or webinars of interest to share, and no one shared anything with me. So, moving on to segment one in the news. Two things here. PeepSo 2.7.12, so 2.7.12, and Gecko 2.7.12 have been released. PeepSo I talked about way back when about membership sites. It's kind of a like a buddy press. It's like doing a Facebook inside of a WordPress install, a buddy press competitor. The team is really cool. They gave me a copy to check it out. I haven't checked it out in a long time, and I still have interest in doing an online community, inside of a membership site. And that very well may happen over at backupspeaker.com, because I'm getting super close to launching that. Like actually the next week or so, we're going to soft launch that. So if you want to get in on Backup Speaker and the intro pricing, better go over to backupspeaker.com soon, because it's, it's a much better deal. Anyway, so PeepSo's out with Gecko 2.7.12. They're both at the same numbers. They have MailPoet compatibility, UI and UX improvements, and better English, etc. So check that out. And also in the news, Smash Balloon was acquired by WPBeginner in the family of products. And I actually use Smash Balloon for a couple of things. They have Facebook feed, they have Instagram feed, Twitter feeds, YouTube feeds. So I like their tools a lot. I've used them for many clients. So they are now a part of the WPBeginner family of products. So it's pretty cool there. Congratulations to all those involved. All right, moving on to the meat and potatoes of this week's show. The topic this week is the legal docs you might need to have in place. I say might because, we'll talk about that in a second. So like I said, I want to revisit the legal situations in regarding to running my agency. I recently had some pushback on a project. The backstory is very basic. It's a nonprofit, and I've done some work for them before for the last couple of years. Maintenance sites. I don't host them, but I do the maintenance, and I've rebuilt the backends on one of the sites. But they now want a new site for one of their entities. So we did some discovery calls, and then a proposal contract was sent over for review. Well, apparently that's fine, but because things are kind of ramping up on a bigger scale of things with this nonprofit, there's a lawyer on the board of directors, which is totally legitimate. I get that. Nonprofits have boards. And as my 89-year-old father says, who's also an attorney, lawyers ruin everything. So, of course, there's jest and truth in that sometimes. But first and foremost, as a disclosure, I'm not a lawyer, though I wouldn't mind playing one on TV, stage, or film, but that's a different story. So, take all of what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Reach out to your own attorneys. Make sure you have legalities in place that cover you in your state and country of origin, etc. So, the issue that I had recently was the liability clause, because my contracts are very light in the legal ease of things, pretty much stating that we are human. We all do this for a living. I do this for a living. My agency does this. But we can make mistakes, and they happen, and we aren't liable for them. But we'll fix them as best we can, etc. So, the problem was that didn't get the most, that got some attention from the new lawyer on the new board of directors, etc. So, I want to share with you what I believe are the 5 documents, what I've learned that I need to have in your business arsenal, maybe even on your website. So these are what I've recently implemented and changed a few things. So general disclaimer. So on the website, it's there on the concierge side of my agency. What it covers general information, what this site is for. It's for general informational purposes only. It's a very broad brushstroke, if you will. So my general disclaimer is just that. A subsection within general disclaimer might be external links disclaimer, meaning you might have affiliate links on your website and those relationships that you might get a commission based on someone clicking on something and buying something. Also, you might want to include a testimonials disclaimer, because if you have testimonials on your site, you might need to put verbiage there that says these testimonials reflect the real life experiences and opinions of that user. Your individual results may vary. Okay, so those are the kind of things in the general disclaimer. I also added a tab for maintenance plans. In my case, I spell out the options and levels of what's covered as described in the plan itself. The fees and payments are also within this section, as is the term of the contract of that and the termination of said plan, meaning this is good for 90 days and it goes to month, something like that. And the termination being 30-day notice to leave would be also there. That could also be in an FAQ, but it's also in this general area as well. I also have a service level agreement. If you're offering hosting, and I do host a handful of clients, so if you're offering hosting, you want to have an SLA, so to guarantee what uptime you're going to have, like the 5 nines, I think we call it, that type of thing. So that's something to consider. And then finally, I think two more. Privacy and confidentiality. What will you do with anything you gather from them as a client or from something they submit to the website in regards to their company or their business practices, that you will keep everything confidential for X time frame or in perpetuity, etc. So you want to make sure that things are kept private and confidential. And the last one, this is the last one, is this. If you're selling software, it's end user license. So if you're selling software, a plugin, some type of app, what is it user entitled to for the service, upgrades, collection of data, etc.? This is completely out of my area. I mean, I don't sell software. I don't write plugins at the moment, but it's something to consider if you're going to do that. So you might want to have an end user license as well on the site. So some of those I have in my contract. Others are on the website, like I said. I recently added them to the footer of my website because I want to keep a single place where all that exists and I keep it up to date versus having to change out the contracts and the templates from time to time, or each time I have a new contract, I can just, instead of copying and pasting, I can just say, please reference this URL, and they can go right there and see it. So it's pretty easy that way. So there you have it. So by the way, we did come to an agreement on that contract that I initially mentioned, and things are moving forward. It's great. And truth be told, we went through 3 revisions of the contract. A couple of things needed to be really addressed. I just forgot and left out, like revisions and a couple of things, or just my mistake. But that other little issue with liability, that had to be worked out. And I like to say that I'm confident that it was going to work out. I have a relationship with the client, so there was already trust there. The lawyer's new to the engagement. She doesn't really know me, and I get that. So, of course, I don't think lawyers ruin everything. They just ruin not coming to my soccer game. I'm just joking. My dad's awesome. All right. Well, there you have it. That is the show this week. Let me move on to the tip and tool of the week, segment 3. This is the tip is this one. I got this from Aruba, I believe, share this one. It's heymeta.com. So it's an easy way to check and build your meta tags. Put in a URL. It's free, by the way, and you'll see what shows up. So instead of taking like a link, put it over at Facebook to see if your link to your website's showing up the right image in your meta tags, you just go right here. Go to heymeta.com. Pretty darn cool. It's free. Do they even offer it? I don't think they even offer a paid site. They don't offer it, so not that I can see. Check it out. All right, that is it this week. If you have any questions, email them to me, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use the speak pipe function of the website. If you want to support the show, that would be awesome. Patreon. You can also sponsor the show, form on the website. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right, bye-bye.